That was an interlude. That was no, not an interlude. That was an overture of the melodies for tonight. Started with a little Hine Matov. I went into a little listen. I did a little Shalom Rav. I did a little Misha Berach, a little Or Zarua, a little Vorspeise, a little hors d'oeuvre of what's to come. But we're in for a treat tonight. It's going to be we're going to be full of Shabbat, I think, tonight.
So wonderful to be here with you. Cantor Doug, if you did that, what it was, overture, does that mean technically we've done services?
No, it's the when you go to a Broadway play and they lower the lights and
Yeah.
people get comfortable in their seats and you have a little dun dun, it's and then the spotlight comes on. The one of the actors comes out on stage and goes, "Oi, how wonderful it is for everybody to be together tonight." And they go into the little, then the dancers come out. It's a wonderful thing. Everybody sings. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. שבט אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב מנעים. שבט אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומנעים. שבט אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב. שבט אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב. שבט אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומנעים. Sitting all together in our own separate places because we can't get together yet, but we're working on it. יחד, הנה מה טוב ומנעים. שבט אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומנעים. שבט אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. לה 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 לה, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. הנה מה טוב ומנעים. שבט אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומנעים. שבט אחים גם יחד.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. It is so wonderful to be with all of you here tonight. Cantor Doug Collar, I'm Rabbi Paul Kipnis, and with Rabbi Julia Weiss, we welcome you to Shabbat services at Congregation Or Ami. What a joyous night tonight will be. So much celebration. First of all, we're celebrating it Shabbat, and that is a joy upon joys, particularly whenever we get to hear the beautiful music of our cantor, Doug Collar. But also tonight, we will hear from some of the marvelous young people who have become the leaders of this congregation on the youth end. They are our 12th graders, our confirmands, and they are culminating their many years here at Congregation Or Ami. They will share with us the poignancy of their Jewish journey and the culmination as they then go off to whatever is next from here. And then we will install our new board of directors and our officers and our new president as we celebrate the transition of leadership and celebrate the amazing wonder of how Or Ami found a way through this pandemic, the separation, to still create community, to still feel connected one to the other, to the Holy One, and to the Torah here in the Ark. To begin, I'd like to invite and we want to thank Jacob Bronstein and Live Control for making it so easy to stream our services. And we are thrilled you are part of us. I bring Rabbi Julia in to lead us into candles.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. What a joyous night it's going to be. And we start our evening together, welcoming in Shabbat by lighting candles. I will ask the Steinhauer family to unmute, say Shabbat Shalom, and then light the candles and say the blessing. All of you.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
We have the whole crew here. Jackson's eating.
Jackson.
Sorry. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
La 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav וציוונו להדליק נר, וציוונו להדליק נר, וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת. Shabbos.
As we begin the confirmation part of our service and our prayers, each of our confirmands, each of our 12th graders reflected on a number of questions that we talked about through the year and through the years at Or Ami. And they encapsulated it into just 5, 6, 7, 8 sentences. But you will get a taste of the depth of their connection, the vibrancy of their understanding of Judaism and Jewish values and tradition. And so each one will unmute. I'm going to ask our students, the first time you speak, just introduce yourself, say, I'm Rabbi Paul Kipnis, but don't say that because that's me. And we will enjoy the moment. So I will spotlight our first. Go ahead, Ellie.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. My name is Ellie, and my first subject that I will be talking upon is how I've changed as a Jew since my bar mitzvah. So yeah, here we go. When I stood on the bima as a young 13-year-old, I had no expectation to stay involved in temple. Had I followed that inclination, it would have been the worst decision ever. At the time of my bat mitzvah, I was going through the motions of each prayer, solely depending on memory, very in my head and shy. Congregation Or Ami is now a place where I am my best self, out of my head and far from shy, shielded from the stressors of my life. I acknowledge that I just described my life separate from Or Ami. This is purposeful. Or Ami is larger than life to me. It is a sanctuary both physically and mentally. How I identify with Judaism since my bar mitzvah is no longer memorization of Torah, but making memories I cherish with the community that ignites my being. I have fallen in love with Judaism in every way possible, for the people I've met through temple are my always and forever.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Stephanie. I will be speaking about my most spiritual experience at Orami. The most memorable experiences from my time at Orami have been the memories I have made at weekend retreats. There I have met some of my best friends to this day and have made bonds with people that I will never forget. My most spiritual Jewish experience took place at one of these retreats. I remember standing in a circle with my friends, our arms around each other, singing Havdalah under the stars. Until that moment, I had never felt that spark or feeling of connection to Judaism. But however, in that moment, I finally understood what being Jewish meant to me. I found beauty in the connection we had created, and I am forever grateful to be a part of the Jewish community, not only within our lovely synagogue, but within the entire Jewish religion.
את אדוני המבורך ברוך
Hi, my name's Sarah. I'm just going to be talking about my connection with God. At my bat mitzvah, I was asked to share how I saw God and what God truly meant to me. I remember standing in front of my community and my entire family and openly stating that I did not believe in God. Here I am 5 years later, and I still don't believe in God. What I actually mean is I don't imagine a person up in the sky looking down on all of us, answering our prayers. I don't believe that there is a bigger entity creating unity and knocking down chaos in our world. I will tell you what I believe, though. If there is a God, it exists in every individual and pushes us to do what is right in our lives. That voice in our head telling us to go over and sit next to the kid eating lunch alone, that feeling we get when we hug someone who means the world to us, that moment of excitement we feel when we get a good grade on a test or a promotion. To me, that is what God is, a feeling of love and guidance when we need it. A feeling that we all feel and we all need, a feeling that makes us who we are. I felt that feeling when I was 13, and I shared it with my family and my community. And shared with my family and community what God means to me, and I will continue to resonate with that for the rest of my life. I'm glad to learn that Rabbi Paul and Rabbi Julia believe that Judaism actually embraces this kind of God idea.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm Aviva Brinjgrad Bialek. And yeah, the first thing I'm talking about is how I've changed since my bat mitzvah. I've changed in innumerable ways since my bat mitzvah. For one, there's the question if I should even call it a bat mitzvah. Since then, I've started using he, him pronouns for myself, as I identify as male. Instead of being called she, I prefer to be called he, hence the question of bar or bat. And since then, the way I pray and believe in God has changed so much. Just saying that is strange because I remember thinking I had it all figured out back then at my service. I knew what I wanted to do with my life. I knew who my best friends were. I knew how I saw my own faith. But now I'm different in what seems like a million different ways. I have changed and grown so much, including as a Jew. With my introspection came my questioning of my Judaism and how it shapes me as a person. And the answer that I have found now is that Judaism guides me. When I was 13, I believed in God as a force of nature. a spirit that floats among us all, whispering advice on how to be the best we can be. Now I see God in a less concrete way, but still very present. God brings purpose into my life. Faith drives me when I don't know what else does, providing me a reason to go on simply for having a reason's sake. Having faith is something so beautiful to me. Having hope can lift us up and bring us together as a community. Since my bat mitzvah, I've been able to truly see that even though I don't see any scientific evidence that praying does anything, it is nonetheless freeing to believe.
Hi, I'm Sarah Steinhauer, and I will be talking about which prayer in the service is most meaningful to me. The most meaningful prayer to me is the Shema, but even more, Listen, Cantor Doug Cutler's song into which it is integrated. The song Listen holds a very special place in my heart. My family and I have sung it together at services since I was very young, and it has always been a reminder of our connection to Or Me and to Judaism. Every time I hear the Shema, I always think of my family's embrace. Rabbi Paul teaches that our arms around each other bring the oneness of God into our lives. Even when I'm not physically with my family, I feel their love and it makes my heart feel full. As I am moving on to college, I am sure that whenever I hear the Shema, my thoughts will be with my family and it will remind me of our time together at Temple.
Hi, I'm Sophia, and I will be talking about my personal beliefs on God. The question of whether God is real and who or what God is has always confused me. When I was younger, a Hebrew school teacher asked me to draw a picture of God. So I drew a big man in the sky, sitting on a cloud with a lightning bolt in his hand, and I looked around and noticed that all of my other classmates had basically drawn the same exact thing. My teacher then asked me why I thought God looked like this. I genuinely had no answer for her. That really frustrated me. I kept thinking to myself, well, if that's not what God looks like, what does God look like? Over the years, I contemplated this question, and I contemplated the existence of any God. I wondered how a God could exist, but let things like school shootings and violent anti-Semitism happen. When I entered high school, I started to become very spiritual. I'm an empath, so I feel the feelings of everything around me. Sometimes that can be very hard, but on the other hand, it gives me a sense of connectedness. I came to a realization that, to me, God is just another name for the universe, and the universe is within all of us. The way I view the universe, or God, is that it's here to hold the fabric of time and space together. The universe may or may not make some type of outline for our lives, I'm not really sure, but it leaves us to make our own decisions. Rabbi Paul teaches that at the ending of the Shema, Adonai Echad, usually translated, God is one, parallels this idea, that we're all connected to and through this universe as one complex web of oneness. And to connect into it, we only have to listen.
If you're lost, you feel afraid, and you don't know what to say, then listen to our God. Is there a question on your mind? Is the answer hard to find? Then listen to our God. Listen with all your heart and soul, and with all your mind. Write them and learn them and teach them well, every morning and night. Close your eyes, listen. Quiet yourself, there's nothing to say. Stop all the chatter that gets in the way. Listen to our God. Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod Malachuto Leolam Vaed. Listen, listen to our God. Listen. Listen to our God.
Hi, I'm Rachel Sands. The question that I answered was, what is the most important Jewish value to you and why? The most important Jewish value to me is kavod, giving respect to others. I have personally felt a lack of respect from certain people in my life. That lack of respect for my feelings, lack of respect for my body, and lack of respect for myself in general has caused me to take multiple steps back in my appreciation for my self-image and motivation for everything that I could accomplish. Each of us deserves a certain level of respect. Chesed, or kindness, rachamim, or caring, and haginut, or fairness, are all encapsulated in kavod, this certain aspect of Judaism. When there's a lack of respect, there's a lack of humanity. When people around the world had a lack of respect for Jews, millions of Jewish people were slaughtered. There's one basic right that all human beings deserve, kavod, or respect. When we don't have that, we don't have anything.
I will be discussing Tikkun Olam. Tikkun Olam, or repairing the world, plays a huge role in my life. The entire idea of social justice and giving back has always been made important to me by my family and the people with whom I surround myself. Congregation Orami has given me countless opportunities to explore the ways I can make an impact on social justice. One of my fondest memories is Mitzvah Day. I have participated in Mitzvah Day with my family and friends since I can remember, and going through the process of assembling the comfort bags for foster children, writing caring cards, and decorating the pillowcases with a colorful, sweet message is an experience I will never forget. From my first Mitzvah Day, I felt like what I was doing was making a difference in someone else's life. Now, over a decade since my first Mitzvah Day, making my mark with social justice has become a vital part of my life.
La 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 la
Hi again, I'm Sophia, and I will be talking about Lomti and Madrahim and its impact on me. So Lomti, Oromie's high school youth group, and Madrahim, our program in which teens mentor young Kesher and Mentify students, has been my lifeline for the last 5 years. I've willingly dedicated hours each week to working with younger students and my peers, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. I'm not sure if I will ever be able to pinpoint a specific idea that I learned. What I know is that these two central Oromie programs, Lomti and Madrahim, have shaped who I am as a person, what I do with my time, and how I advocate for others. These programs have given me my best friends, and I'm so lucky that I have gotten them from this. I'm not sure what I would do without them. Through them, I have gained Kihila Kadosha, a community that I know I can always rely on, and I've collected memories that have helped create who I am today. I am forever grateful to Lomti and the Madrahim and to Congregation Oromie and our rabbis and cantor who created these amazing experiences. Thank you.
Hi again. I'm also going to be talking about Lomti. Lomti is Congregation Oromie's high school youth group. I could talk about Lomti and everything it means to me for hours. And trust me, I do. Lomti is part of who I am as a person. Starting my freshman year on Lomti's board as a grade representative and now leaving my senior year as the president has taught me what it means to lead, to learn from, and to truly understand those around me. Lomti gave me a group of friends who have now become my family. I am so unbelievably lucky to have been part of something that made me so proud to be Jewish and so honored to be part of the Oromie community. As part of Lomti and Oromie, I have learned how to use my voice and stand up for the things I believe in. Through programs like Litaken, I was able to travel to Washington, D.C. with my best friends and lobby to Congress about the social action issues about which I am passionate. I've learned how to be a leader and how to communicate with so many incredible people through board meetings and running events. I've learned who I am and in what ways Judaism matters to me. Lomti is and forever will be a special part of who I am.
Ata Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu V'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם, עזרת שרה.
Hi again. So I'm now going to be talking about my most spiritual experience. I felt most spiritual when I was in Israel 2 summers ago with NIFTY, the North American Federation of Temple Youth. My tour group visited the Kotel tunnels, the tunnels which run underneath the Western Wall. It was already such an amazing experience in itself, but it also was one of the times that I have felt closest to God. Here I was, in the place as close to the ancient Jerusalem temple as anyone can get. That moment was so special to me, being in Israel and in such a holy place. I felt a fluttering in my chest as I stood in those tunnels among my friends and with God. I knew it was a special experience. I felt so close to my faith, my people, and God. That memory will always be sacred to me because it is one of the moments that I have felt most connected to the Jewish faith and people.
Hello, I will be talking about the Jewish value of Tikkun Olam. Or Ami has provided so much for me over the years. I have made incredible friends and I have built a strong connection to the Jewish faith. But most importantly, it has allowed me to find my love for the Jewish value of Tikkun Olam, or repairing the world. During my sophomore and junior years, I was given the unforgettable opportunity of traveling with Or Ami to Washington, D.C. to participate in the Letah Ken seminar. This is a seminar in which Jewish teens learn how they can use their voices to practice Tikkun Olam. While on these trips, I discovered my love for social justice and how public policy and the value of Tikkun Olam can be intertwined to create change in the world. The value of Tikkun Olam has led me to pursue a career in business law with the intention of focusing my studies on business ethics, law, and equity. Most importantly, Tikkun Olam has taught me that as a privileged individual, me and my peers must use our voices to empower those who need our help. My only hope for myself and my peers is that we walk through life with the value of Tikkun Olam, guiding our actions and interactions with those we meet.
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה כל אתה רב להושיע, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך על גבורות, ומינו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה
Hi again. The next question that I answered is, why do you love Israel? I love Israel because it's the place where all Jewish people can go and feel welcome. During the Holocaust, as Jews were fleeing the Nazis, they were refused from countries all around the world. Our ancestors were turned away from safety just because of their religion. Back then, no place existed in the world where Jewish people felt completely safe from anti-Semitism. Many of our ancestors were killed because they did not have the opportunity to be in a secure place where they could be free from harm. Israel was created in part as a safe haven for all Jewish people. We are always welcome, especially when we do not feel safe anywhere else.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל
Hi guys, I'm so sorry I was muted. I just don't seem to get better at this. Shabbat Shalom. I will be telling you guys about my most spiritual Jewish experience. My most spiritual Jewish experience took place in my own backyard. We had a Lomti pool party at my house, and I sat with all my best friends, arms around each other for Havdalah, the special ritual that ends Shabbat. My biological family and my Jewish family were singing, praying, and smelling spices in the same backyard I grew up in. My youth group and family became one, and my house became a place as sacred as a temple. I realized that night that my love for Judaism can exist anywhere I want, even in the places I've been around my whole life. Listening to the voices of my friends around the circle, the Havdalah candle reflecting across their beautiful faces, I had a powerful experience. I knew that this moment is where I was meant to be. I'm so thankful that Orami and Lomti steered me to experiences that connected me in deeply spiritual ways.
And so let's take a moment to pray silently, perhaps reflecting on the amazing words and ideas and ideals and values shared by our 12th graders, our confirmands. Perhaps reflecting yourself on what truly makes for a blessing that shows you that there is holiness, the Holy One God in this world, either as a being, as a force, or as an ideal. We pray silently. In this week's Torah portion, Shalach Lecha, Moses is commanded by God to send leaders from each tribe into Canaan, the land, to see what it is like, to see what the people are like, to see if there's a possibility that the Israelites could enter it and could live there. And they came back and said it was a land flowing with milk and honey, Eretz Zavat Chalav Udvash. But 10 of the 12 scouts were afraid about what was there, who was there, whether they would be able to sustain themselves. So many of us experience those moments when we look at what's ahead and wonder if we will make it through. When we are facing the crisis of mental illness and everything looks dark or forbidding for us or our loved ones. When we are facing challenges like financial loss or relationships breaking up, worries about our children or our parents, dealing with emotional turmoil. And then there's that very real fear of the physical illnesses that plague us after a year plus long of the coronavirus that took way too many people than it should have been allowed to do. And as we think about the various illnesses and struggles we each face, it's good when we get together as a community to pray to the Holy One so that we each can plug into the force of goodness and strength and courage and hope in this universe and do the work to heal, be healed, heal each other and heal ourselves. Tonight, we ask for blessings of healing for loved ones. If you are asking for those blessings, we invite you to place in the chat or in the Facebook comments the names in relationship to you of those for whom you are asking for blessings of healing. We send out a special blessing to Matt Gross, who is recovering well from some spinal surgery, walking around, smile on his face. May complete healing come speedily. And then we pray together the words of Mi Sheberach.
ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
And of course, in my prayers, our prayers this week, also our congregant, Stephen Landis, who had surgery himself also. And as he's recovering, he had joy because he became a grandfather once again. I think that's 3 or 4 now. Actually 4, you count them all. So Mazel Tov, and healing speedily for you and for all. Some quick announcements. Because so much is happening here at Or Ami. This Monday night with the village, come here and learn about the life and works of Marc Chagall. Great windows, great artwork, beautiful presentation. Next slide. Our cultural navigation series continues on June 9th. We look at emotional intelligence and how that will help us as we understand it more in our commitment to diversity, equity, equality, and inclusion. Next slide. The Business Roundtable, I think I messed up putting these slides together this time. So I'll just run through. We have the Business Roundtable coming through. We have a Torah study coming up. And we're reading a book, The Warmth of Sons, that helps us understand what's going on, what happened in this country over the years. Let's drop these slides. Thank you, Hannah. I got to go back and figure out what I did there. But we're doing some reading to help us understand better what happened in this country after slavery, during Jim Crow. And if we really want to bring this country back together, that's one of the most important things we need to do, is understand some of the things that happened in this country that we don't talk about, but that seared our soul. I'd like to invite Rabbi Julia to continue.
As we transition to thinking about those whose presence is no longer with us, a poem or a meditation by a rabbi that I like to turn back to when I'm thinking about those that I'm missing the most. This is by Rabbi Avi Weiss. To what can death be compared? To a person who enters a darkened room for the first time and trips over the furniture. Each time she enters the room, she learns more and more where the furniture stands. In time, she becomes familiar with the room, and despite the darkness, knows how to get around. So too death. There is darkness in death that cannot be chased away, but it is possible to learn how to continue to live despite the darkness which forever remains. We all continue to live despite the darkness we experience from their loss. Tonight, as a congregation, we are remembering Betty Kent, mother of congregant Shelley Gluck, who was buried earlier this week. If you are remembering someone this evening, please mention in the Facebook chat or in the comment chat box, Zoom, their name and their relationship to you so that we can hold their names, who they were, and their presence in our hearts. As we add the names of our loved ones, we also pray Mourner's Kaddish. Yit Gadal v'Yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, v'Almad Yivrach Hirutei v'Amlich Malchutei, v'Chayechon v'Yomechon uv'Chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, v'Agala u'Bizman Karim v'Yimru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mivarach le'olam u'Amei Olmaya. Yitbarach v'Yishtabach v'Yipa'ar v'Yitromam v'Yitnaseh. Yitadar v'Yit'aleh v'Yithalal Shemei Kudashah Brichu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Damiran be'alma v'Yimru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba min Shemaya. V'chaim aleinu ve'akol Yisrael, Yimru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'akol Yisrael, Yimru Amen.
Amen. May their memories be for a blessing. Again, in this week's Parsha, God tells Moses to send forth leaders to discern for the people, to think and observe for the people, to then help guide the people on the journey through the wilderness. There, the Midbar. We too are called every year to gather together leaders to lead our adult community of Congregation Or Ami through the wilderness of life. And we have been blessed this past 2 years, with an amazing president, Leslie Kraut. And I'm going to invite her to join us now to share some reflection. She's sitting there with her husband, Peter.
Thank you, Rabbi Paul. Let me just say that it has been my privilege and honor to serve as a board president. Looking around and seeing the faces of our board fills me with hope. These last 2 years have not been easy, yet every time I asked for help, there was never a shortage of raised hands. You have all, each of you, risen to the occasion and should be proud of what we have accomplished. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I have learned so much about the intricate workings of our congregation. We could not have kept the pieces together without the steady, dedicated professionalism of our staff. Susie, Lizette, Jenny, and Andrew are the backbone of our institution. They keep the wheels turning and the lights on, and they have gone above and beyond for our congregation. We all owe them a debt of gratitude. I will especially miss our day-to-day interactions and laughs. They are all mensches. Thank you for making it so easy to lead. Rabbi Julia, thank you. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your creativity. Thank you for your friendship. Maybe it's our shared dedication to children, or maybe it's our need to heal the world. Whatever it is, we are connected, and I can't wait to continue to share all these experiences with you. Cantor Doug, thank you for not retiring. Thank you for lifting us all up with your voice. I am so grateful that we will have one more year of High Holy Day celebrations with you as our cantor. You have been a breath of fresh air over the last year. Thank you for your wisdom and your sense of humor. Rabbi Paul, I think I'll miss you most of all. Our partnership these last 2 years has been a combination of strategic thinking, pivoting, and personal counseling sessions. I have learned the true nature of what it takes to be a rabbi and have been utterly astounded by the way you hold us all up. You have inspired me in so many ways. Thank you for your wisdom and your enduring love of our synagogue. Through our clergy's innovation and imaginative leadership, our congregation came together so many times, finding community and comfort in the face of the coronavirus. If I've learned anything in my tenure, it's that when the chips are down and the world is crumbling, I want to be standing right next to Rabbi Paul, Cantor Doug, and Rabbi Julia. These past 2 years have been both frustrating and uplifting. Frustrating because I wasn't able to see some of my ideas come to fruition, and uplifting because I forged new and fulfilling partnerships with congregants I now can call my dear friends. Craig Steinhauer is one of those who has lifted me up when I needed it most. He has been my sounding board and my partner through all things financial, and then some. His thoughtful and caring nature, sense of humor, and love of our congregation have made him the perfect choice to be our next president. Thank you, Craig, for all that you have done and all that you will do. I'm here if and when you need me. After all, what could go wrong? When I decided to take on the role of president, Peter and I both knew he would have also a role. What Peter didn't know is how much of a role that would be. Peter took on the unofficial position of builder-in-chief. From creating high holiday sets to building a drive-through sukkah, Peter has carried much more than his share of the load. I would not have been able to get through these last 2 years without him, and there is no one I would rather have by my side. Thank you, Peter. You are my rock. After a presidential term year bounded by the coronavirus, bookended by the death of Rabbi Paul's 2 parents, and enduring a world of seemingly always in turmoil, it was nonetheless a pleasure to serve this congregation. With Torah as our guide, we are building a better tomorrow for ourselves and our children. Thank you for allowing me to be your president. It has been an honor.
Leslie, we have had the opportunity to talk a little bit over the last couple of days about the power of your leadership and the power of your presidency. Yes, to start and then right away have one of your main partners be taken out as I spent time mourning the sudden loss of my dad. To have that come in the middle as I finished that and then my mom died. And to have a coronavirus pandemic shut not only the congregation down, but the whole world down. And yet you were the president, the right person in the right place. Our Miriam, Moses, Aaron all rolled into one. The person that God sent to see where others couldn't see, that this synagogue could rise up, could be a light even in the face of all that was so fearful and all so worrisome. And though the world came through battered and brutalized, and 600,000 plus people, Americans, died, and so many more around the world, this congregation banded together, reached out, helped others, ensured that we never lost the light of Torah, the light of God's people, our people. And it was in large part because of you. The gift we gave you earlier this week, a print by an Israeli artist, has the words in it, Tzedek, Tzedek, Tirdof, usually translated as justice, justice you shall pursue. But it was translated up, Peter will bring it over. It's translated here as justice, only justice shall you pursue. It's a reminder that in a world when everything is falling apart and it's easier to think just about ourselves, we Jews are called to think about others and lift others up. And you have done that for the members of this congregation, for the clergy and the staff of this congregation. You have done it for people all over this state and country and world that we do not know. Your leadership was the light that guided us forward. There aren't words enough, but we are indebted to you. We are impressed by you. We are inspired by you. And best of all, we were led by you. Thank you for your service. And while your term doesn't end until June 30th, thank you. It has been an honor. There are numerous board members who have completed their service and are going off the board. 2 of them were able to be here with us tonight. I need to find the other one. Hang on. We thank our board members not in here, Hannah Spratt and Jeff Hennis, each who served with distinction. Each are completing their terms of office. And we thank these 2. Diane Gubin with her husband, Steve Greenberg. Diane served on the board and then as an officer and then as the board. She, with one other, I think actually single-handedly created the Business Roundtable. She made sure that there were people, you made sure that there were people at the synagogue every Friday night and at special times to meet and greet with warmth. Not only did you assign them, but you trained them to ensure that they knew how to pass on the love and joy. As an officer, your incisive wisdom guided us forward and made sure that the light of Or Ami shined brightly. And while your term ends this month, we know your connection with and support of the congregation will continue even next month, as you are one of the featured speakers in our Kadima Fellowship for college and high school students. Toda rabah lach, thank you so much. Fred Gruber, with your wife Susie. Susie is joining as an officer this year. Fred, you are completing your term as perhaps the best job in all of the synagogue, IPP immediate past president, having led the congregation with such distinction, ensuring that we made it through a turbulent time in our country when the politics out there threatened to rip us apart in here as it did everywhere else. You guided us by making sure we remained true to the values of Torah, to helping others, tikkun olam, a connection and devotion to Israel, and making sure that our youth remained a major focus. With calmness, you steered us forward. You helped raise up our understanding of how to shepherd the funds people give us, and you helped us raise significant funds. Most don't know, in partnership with me, yes, to make sure that no one during this coronavirus pandemic would have to leave the synagogue because of money. You have traveled with us, you've guided us, and you supported Leslie as she became president. And now you join an esteemed group of 6 past presidents whose counsel we call upon, whose support we cherish, and whose love of Or Ami helps push us forward to renew, innovate, and disrupt the world to become the best we can be. Thank you for your years of service. Thank you for the service yet to come. We look forward to all that's happening. Mazel tov to you both. We are Or Ami, light of God's people. The Torah teaches, Ki nir mitzvah v'Torah or, v'derech chayim tochachot musar. For the Torah is a lamp, for the mitzvah is a lamp, and the Torah is light which illumines forever and provides guidance of Jewish values to shine the way forward on the road of life.
And in Ecclesiastes 11, verses 7, Umato ka'or v'tov la'inayim lir'ot et hashemesh. And sweet is the light of Torah, and good for the eyes to see the sun of Torah in its full resplendence. As we hold Torah in one place, we invite Torah to light the way ahead and to guide these dedicated leaders.
Or zaru al tzadi, u'yishalev simcha. Or zaru al tzadi, u'yishalev simcha. Or zaru al tzadi, u'yishalev simcha. There is a light. What makes it shine? When I do right, it becomes mine. Straight from the heart, happiness grows where there's a light. Life overflows. Or zaru al tzadi, yishrelev simcha. Or zaru al tzadi, yishrelev simcha. Or zaru al tzadi, ulishrelet simcha. Or zaru al tzadi, ulishrelet simcha. There is a seed. What makes it grow? Where it will lead, there I will go. Straight from the heart, the truth never fails. Where there's a light, justice prevails. Or zaru al tzadi, ulishlev simcha. Or zaru al tzadi, ulishlev simcha. Or zaru al tzadi, ulishlev simcha. Or zaru al tzadi, ulishlev simcha.
Beautiful, so beautiful. I'm going to invite in our incoming president, Craig Steinhauer. First, I'm going to rename you daughter to
You can rename yourself. right?
Yeah, well, she's the boss,
There you
so
go.
it's okay.
I'm gonna add you in. Oh, that's the wrong person. Hi, Lucille.
You got it.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It is my honor to accept the position as the president, your president of Congregation Orami. I'd like to start off by thanking the presidents that came before me. In particular, Michael Kaplan, Lucille Golden, Shalometh Golden, Hetty Gross, Gary Kaplan, Freddie Gruber, and of course, my bantering buddy, Leslie Kraut, who I've gotten to know so much better over the past year or so. And it's been just an awesome experience in working as your sidekick. So thank you for everything you've done, Leslie. I have learned so much from all of you and look forward to continuing the great work that you started. And I say started because it's really never ending. It's really just a continuation of, the president before. There's a lot of repair in need in our world these days. So that is something that I really look forward in participating in. ORME is my community, and it's a way for me to get involved in social justice, helping underprivileged kids, feeding the hungry, and being an example, positive example to not only mine and my wife, Tracy, our kids, but all of the kids in the ORME community and beyond, because it's all about the kids. With Rabbi Paul and Rabbi Julia and Cantor Doug and our amazing staff and our board, whom I've gotten to know so much over the past 8 years of being on the board. You've all become, just great friends. I'd love to mention all of you, but there's too many to mention, so you know who you are. Sid Goldberg. Had to point you out, Sid. And I just look forward to continuing to lift our ORME community even to a higher level and making a major impact on the world and continuing our mission of Tikkun Olam. And it's an honor for me to do so, and I look forward to it. So Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Craig. So we have 6 past presidents, each with some wisdom to share with you as you move into your presidency. Some of them are here, some were not able to. I will name each one in order, but I think we have 4 of them here tonight. So to our past presidents, I'm going to ask you to first speak and then light your candle so you don't have to juggle your words and your candle. Our most veteran past president is Gene Student, who sends his love and devotion. And now we bring on Michael Kaplan. Michael?
As president, I tried to create an environment where anyone who walked through our doors was treated like family, treated like they were part of the ORME family, and where everyone who walked through our doors actually felt like they were part of our family. ORME's come a long way since the days when I was president. And we've evolved to being a real leader in the world of Reform Judaism and a leader in the world in the greater community. And may you, as president, take us to an all new level of leadership in Reform, progressive Judaism, in our local community, in our greater community. And I know you can do it, and I know you will do it.
Thank you. If you will mute yourself, Michael, and if you have a candle, light it, and we'll bring in Lucille Golden. Lucille?
Shabbat Shalom. Each president brings themselves to the job and adds something new to the growth of ORME. I would like to think during my 2-year term, I brought transparency, the ability to speak to the tough things that sometimes needed to be addressed, integrity, the willingness to listen to ideas of others, and a love for ORME. Craig, as our new incoming president, I think you are an excellent choice. With your years of background as a financial planner and consultant, you will always have the financial strength of Congregation ORME in your daily decision-making process. With your outgoing, friendly, and kind personality, ORME partners will find you easy to engage. From personal experience, I know you are a great listener and a good sounding board. I have every belief that you will continue to keep the light of ORME burning brightly. Congratulations.
Beautiful. And as you mute and light the candle, we mention Hetty Gross, our next president, who could not be here tonight as she is by the side and helping her husband continue to recuperate and heal. We bring in, and Gary Kaplan is out of town, we bring in Fred Gruber. Fred.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. As president, I try to install financial and operational efficiencies, as well as provide a warm, steady, and constant presence of leadership for our congregation. As incoming President Craig, may you fulfill your objectives in leading the congregation, hopefully with an eye towards continued community growth, responsibility, and friendship. And I know, having worked with you for as long as we have together on the board and the finance committee, you will be able to do all of those things and much, much more. No one could be a better choice for the next president of our congregation. Congratulations.
And we bring forward Leslie Kraut, our newest immediate past president. Leslie. Oh, I forgot to tell you you're doing this part, so just tell him how he's going to be great.
Thank you. Yeah, that's okay. Craig, you are going to do a phenomenal job. You already know the job. You're going to hit the ground running, and I am so impressed and proud of you already. Just try to keep a lot of smart, good people around you, and everything is going to be just fine. That's what I did, and it all worked out. So congratulations, and all the best.
Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you.
And Craig, as you light your light too, I'm going to remove all spotlights. And for each board member and officer, as I mention your name, I invite you to light your light, and we'll fill these screens with light. We invite our new board members to light their lights. Brad Cohen, Alan Lazar, Judy Friedman, April Powers, and our continuing board members, Rachel Deshevsky, David DeCastro, Dan Germain, Sid Goldberg, Marla Landis, Alan Lazar, Susan Lotwin, Erin Mayer, Kevin Palm, Debbie Pattis, Rachel Paul, and if I didn't say her already, April Powers. We invite our ex officio officer, Michael Kaplan, advisor to the president, rather. And we add to that our immediate past president, Leslie Kraut, our secretary, Michelle Finkelstein, CFO, Alan Kasdan, Vice President, Susie Gruber, Vice President, Sharon Weiss, Vice President, Richard Rutkin, Vice President, Karen Povsky, and our new president, Craig Steinhauer. We now ask Hannah to bring up the blessing of our leaders. I believe it's the next slide, as Rabbi Julia leads us.
And we read together, obviously staying on mute, but we can hear each other's voices through the computer screen. We read together. In the name of Orami, the light of my people, we as partners and friends of Orami install you as leaders of Orami. As you assume the duties of your office, you affirm the ancient democratic tradition of the Jewish people, that the synagogue belongs to the congregation and serves the community. Your installation in office testifies the strength of this tradition. You have come to a position of honor in the life of our synagogue. In your hands are placed matters upon which the well-being of our congregation and our youth group depend. The well-being of Orami becomes your special responsibility. Overseeing its work becomes your particular task. Be true to Torah, for your task is to create Jews who love Torah, seek Kedusha, ways of lifting us up to holiness, and pursue Tzedek, working always for justice. Lead with Rachamim, for we are a compassionate people. Join in partnership with our rabbis, cantor, and youth advisors, so that the spirit of Jewish life will touch your combined labors. May your service be abundant in blessing for others and enrichment for yourselves. The future of this synagogue and our youth groups are safeguarded by your labors and by your loyalty. May God bless you and your work. Amen.
And as our board members hold their lights, we ask you to read with me the reading, the acceptance of responsibility, of course, remaining on mute, but speaking aloud. We say together, may we be dedicated to this responsibility and enriched by our achievements. Together with our rabbis and cantor, may we be faithful leaders of our people, watchful guardians of Torah, and true servants of the Holy One. We will safeguard the best interests and good name of Congregation Orami. Mishaberach Avotenu v'imotenu. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless us in our leadership from this day forth. And we all say together, Amen.
Amen. We just experienced and witnessed our 2021 board installation. The word install, the verb in English, means to place in position, to induct, to establish in an office or a leadership position. The verbs install, to place, to establish are words that can remind us of stability and even balance. We witnessed our leadership board for the coming year being installed, placed and established in their positions to help make decisions that will hopefully keep our congregation stable and in balance. And now we transition to confirmation of our 12th graders. The word confirm, the verb in English, means to establish, to make valid or binding. Again, we hear the same words that remind us of stability and balance. Confirmation is a ceremony in which our oldest youth establish their Jewish identity as they move forward on their Jewish journey. So we move from installation of our adult leaders to confirmation of our young adult leaders, all in the same evening. From one generation of leaders to the next, and just as we recognized and blessed our adult board, we recognize and bless our confirmands. First, we invite one representative, one of our 11th graders, Anna Hiskey, been a part of the confirmation journey with those being confirmed tonight. Anna will bless our 12th graders with words that were written by her and her friends.
Okay, hi, I'm Anna. So, to our Orami seniors, here is our 11th grade blessing to you. Let all your landings be easy and let your heart stay kind. Even if you are in college or wherever you are, I hope you will come back to visit Orami and see us. We hope you know how important you are to the Orami community. Every contribution you made to this temple has been meaningful. Your friendships with us are unforgettable.
Thank you, Anna. And I now turn it over to the 12th graders to bless their friends who will be the next confirmands, the 11th graders.
All right, I'm going to start. To our successors and our best friends.
It is now your turn to lead. And we are passing the torch to you, but we will not pass it unlit.
Rely on the love, care, and security of your temple friends and family to keep you afloat in your times of need. They will always be there to provide aid in whatever way you may need it.
Step out of your comfort zone. Voicing your thoughts can be scary, but Orami is the perfect place to do it. You will always be accepted and supported here, even when you might be feeling anxious or vulnerable.
Remember that Orami is your home and never be afraid to ask for help and support. Always draw a funny face on your Orami name tag. Makes for a fun conversation.
Spend more Friday nights at home with your family. While giving up your Friday night to have Shabbat may sound boring compared to a night with friends, I promise you will miss the opportunity when you are away from home.
With all that said, we have full faith that we are leaving.
Wait,
Oh,
I'm not muted anymore. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. Seek out and cherish the people and places that resonate with your soul. The first one being Orami. Meeting all of you has been the best thing to ever happen to me, and Orami is where it all began. You are the people, and this temple is the place that resonate with my soul. Keep bringing pretzels and hummus to board meetings, and things will go smoothly.
with all that said, we have full faith that we are leaving Orami in the best hands.
We love you all.
Thank you, 12th graders. That was beautiful. My friends, those that are being confirmed and those that are not, those that are here to support and to celebrate installation, we all know that this year was rough. It was scary for some, frustrating for others, even sad. But for these confirmands, these seniors, there were so many missed opportunities that many of the seniors imagined they would get to experience, but didn't because of the pandemic. In-person college tours, counselors at our 4th to 6th grade retreat, in-person youth events, hangouts in the youth lounge, in-person proms with actual dancing, in-person graduations in the air conditioning, in-person confirmation are just to name a few. And yet, you seniors, you confirmands, all managed to push through, to find the brightness in some of the loss. And for this, your synagogue family is so proud of you. Rabbi Paul Cantor-Doug and I wanted to create something special so that we could say goodbye and thank you for all the gifts you gave to our synagogue community. And so last Friday, the clergy and the seniors met in the parking lot to reflect on our journeys and growth on your journeys and growth at Orami, and then to bless each of you individually in front of the ark. We gave each of you some presents to take with you on your next journey, to remember us, but really to remind you that you are always home at Orami. This senior send-off ceremony was nothing we had done before, but the clergy agreed. It was unique, beautiful, and bittersweet to be with each of you at the ark, masked, and to bless you with the priestly blessing, a sacred blessing that is bestowed upon individuals, especially around life cycle events. Some of you received this blessing when you were born. You received it when you became bar or bat mitzvah, and you received for confirmation twice, in person last week, and now tonight on Zoom. Tonight, it is our honor, Rabbi Paul, Cantor-Doug, and myself, to bless you again with this ancient blessing.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך.
May God bless you and watch over you.
ירא אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך.
May God shine God's presence upon you.
יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום.
May the Holy One and may holiness surround you always, lifting you up, making you sense that within you is a completeness and a wholeness, an enoughness, and may you feel that sense of shalom. Amen. There is a blessing we have that will ask parents to help us lead, families help us lead, and then the whole community as we bless our young ones, our confirmands. Parents, if you will, I'm going to ask everybody to mute themselves. Good. If you will, parents of confirmands, if you will recite with me to your children or in the house if they're in other parts. Feel free if they're with you to put your hands on their heads and as we recite together. Then they were young, just little children, listening, looking up to us with those believing eyes, holding our hands and feeling safe. Then we told them of Moses and Miriam, Queen Esther and Judah Maccabee. Moments in our history that could have meaning for young minds. Then we lit the menorah and read the Haggadah and ate hamantaschen and hissed at Haman. Traditions of our people that sparkle, rituals that little hands can perform. And they were Jews. And now I ask parents and families of the confirmands, wherever you are, to read together. Now they are older, no longer little children. They listen and question and look us straight in the eye. They seek a hand to hold and they want to feel safe. Now we tell them of Torah and honor of tzedakah, and we explain the ethics and morals that have kept our people together throughout the ages. Now we show them the beauty of Shabbat and rejoice in the glow of the candles together. Now the matzah is more than unleavened bread. It symbolizes our sensitivity to the afflicted. Now we find meaning for our traditions so that they live for today. And they were Jews.
And now the entire community, we join together. When they are grown, they will seek answers by themselves. They will make their own safe harbor. Israel, the people, will be there when we are no longer here, to look toward new ways to unfold the old traditions, new lives based on the ethics of our antiquity, new horizons to ponder, and they will be Jews.
There is a blessing we say when we do something for the first time, whether it is that moment that these young people turned over on their own as little babies and started crawling forward and walking forward and running forward and then becoming bar or bat or b mitzvah and then becoming confirmands and then going off to college to live their lives. Words we say when adults step forward and hold Torah and represent Torah and become the leaders that will ensure that Torah will be passed on not to the young, just to the young people, but to the parents and people of all ages, to the older people, to all of us, ensuring that Torah is the light that shines our way forward. At moments like this, these holy moments, even though we are physically not all standing together, though we will be soon, we want to thank God for giving us life, for keeping us in life, and yes, for bringing us to this very special moment. And we sing together for those who were installed and those who are confirmed and for this whole holy community that walks forward into another year. With Cantor Doug's help, we sing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'echenu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Amen. Amen. So many transitions. You seniors have the nerve to go off into life, to cut forward your own path ahead. Remember, as Rabbi Julia said, Cantor Doug, Rabbi Julia, and I, Andrew, this whole synagogue are here anytime on the other end of our cell phones. Text us, email us, call us, Insta us, Facebook instant message us. Don't Snapchat us or TikTok. We're not really that sophisticated yet. But know we're always here. And for all you board members, there's so much goodness that this world needs. You hold it and represent it. Thank you for partnering and shining the light of Or Ami forward. Or Ami is going through many transitions. We said goodbye today to Jenny Mazzella, our devoted, amazing school registrar and Rabbi Julia's executive assistant. With tears, we thanked her for all she has done, and particularly her last gift to us, helping on board to train her successor, Cammie Brown, who started this week. We saw this past week Andrew Fromer and his little baby, and his wife Olga. He's on family leave now and will be back in a month or so. We said goodbye to interns, Rabbinic and Ed, and we started to say hello to new interns who are joining us. Cantor Doug, Rabbi Julia, and I, and our office staff began a process of figuring out when we're going to take time off in the next months to rejuvenate so that we're back and ready to welcome you all forward for New Year. The High Holy Days will be in Thousand Oaks. So many of us, we will be able to be together, those who are comfortable doing so. In the Bank of America Arts Plaza, formerly the Thousand Oaks Civic Arts Plaza. And at the end of this month, we will announce next week our first in-person gathering down at the beach, a beach Shabbat, limited number of spaces, so register right away so you can join us. But we will do more in person, we will be together more, and we will celebrate the goodness and beauty of this community that shines so brightly in this community, in this state, in this country, and around the world. And so if you have people with you and you're comfortable, hold them close to you. If you have loved ones, but they're not with you, hold them in your hearts as I am holding you in mine. And let's conclude with Hashkivenu, our nighttime prayer, remembering that we are always together and safe.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom, L'shalom V'ha'amidenu Shomrenu L'chaim Fros aleinu Sukat Shlomecha Fros aleinu Sukat Shlomecha got some wine? Let's spotlight somebody. Who's got a cup? Let's see. Oh, perfect. Hiskies. Spotlight the Hiskies. They got it going on. All right. There we go. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Nice. Well done, Hiskies. Okay, who's got a challah? Wait, Michael Kaplan, first up. Spotlight Michael. Hold it up higher, a little higher, Michael. That's what we're looking for. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Everybody sing now, here we go. Rabbi, these Zoom services are awesome, but I'm getting tired. When are we? We're going to the beach. When? June 25.
June 25.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm already working. I'm going to work on my tan a little bit to get out there. This is.
I got my special Orme board shorts.
Board shorts. Okay, great. Fantastic. This was absolutely beautiful service. I cried only twice.
Mazel tov to all of our confirmands. We love you. Mazel tov to all of our board members. You inspire us. Everybody, Shabbat's over, so let's go to the oneg. Oh, there isn't one, but there will be one soon. So individually wrapped. We hope to see you all soon. Unmute, say it Shabbat Shalom, and then go enjoy your family or whoever else is around. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
You're gonna come
Shabbat Shalom.
What's that?
You're gonna come be on my camera?
No.
Okay.
Shabbat Shalom.
Mazel tov, Mazel tov. Hello, Promise. Hello, April. I think I lost you. Oh.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Al. Thank you, Hannah. You were awesome.